Hello, everybody. Welcome to Toku Portal Podcast. I am Rai, and with me is...
Decade.
Drago.
Sorry that this isn't a live stream, but for some reason we're having a trouble with that on YouTube. I don't know what's going on, so we have to do it like this. We're talking about Kamen Rider Build, episode 47. We're on the last 3 episodes here, I believe. So... a lot of things happened here, and we're just going to talk about this episode character by character. We have all our heroes scaling Pandora's tower to get to Evolt, and Kazumi broke off to fight replicas of the Three Crows, and then the next group they run into is replicas of the Gear Brothers, and so Gentoku decides to take them on alone. And then Utsumi shows up to help him, because... he only agreed to work for Evil to get revenge for Namba, and he wanted to get close to him to find his weak point. I don't know how I feel about this. On the one hand, it's like, that feels like pretty good character for him. On the other hand, I did kind of like the idea that he was just so insane that he just needed a master to follow. But this does feel like more in line with what his character should be, I guess.
I think it would have been better if they didn't waste this arc on Sento's dad. It would have been a lot more impactful, I guess.
I just hope that I wish that they had spent those 4 episodes developing Utsumi or something. Utsumi and Sawa really needed that. I actually like the fact that he is I never liked the fact that he was working for Evil out of his own volition. I like this reveal that he is actually working against him, but if with such a long gap in between and with so little done with his character, it kind of feels like it's out of left field, even if it shouldn't be. Yeah, it's weird.
But that's not the weirdest thing that happens here. No, that's too normal. So, after they defeat the Gear Bros and retrieve a lost bottle that comprised of them, or whatever, Evil comes down to recollect it. Utsumi tries betraying him using the Evil driver, having studied it to unlock its full potential, and fails. But he got closer than anyone should have, because he's a cyborg. Wait, what? Yes, after Gentoku shot him early on in the series and Evil saved him, he didn't just save his life with any of the magic that we've seen him use. No, he saved him by giving him mechanical implants, apparently.
It was not Evil, it was Nanba, but yeah.
Evil was the one who pulled him out of the river.
Yeah, but it was not that he was damaged or something. He could have just given it to Nan. Even not that badly damaged, I don't think so. I think it's just Nanba who did it. And Evolved, as we have seen, isn't as good with technology.
No, but... never mind. Decade?
Yeah, that's just kind of the point. There just wasn't enough explanation. I mean, at least we did have some foreshadowing with the cyborg meme that Sento was making, but I did like how they tied in the raising the halves 3rd level special, because at the very end, Build uses Shark and Bike or whatever to defeat the Hell Bros prototype. So that was a redeeming quality about this whole craziness.
Yeah, and the one thing that weirded me out of the cyborg thing is that, am I supposed to laugh? Is this a joke? That was what was going through my head, because it has been used as a joke a lot before, and now it feels serious, and I'm just confused.
In no context did I think this was a joke. Gentoku gets a little development when he goes to take on the Gear Bros by himself. And then when Utsumi shows up, he thinks that's going to be a 3-on-1, and he's prepared to do that on, even though it's clear that he can't. So, good points for him, I guess. It wasn't much.
His Henshin cinematography was fantastic, with the starry skies and his suit. It really looked epic.
Oh yeah, I'll give it that. It looked beautiful.
Now, who else? I think it's just Kazumi left to talk about now.
Not quite, but Decade, do you have anything to say about Gentoku?
I guess I did like how he kind of got back to him being serious. And when he said to the Gear Bros copies be a sacrifice for the greater good. That was kind of refreshing, but yeah, not much else.
So yeah, the real meat of this episode was Kazumi's fight, wherein he's using the power-up that Sento warned him, if you use this, you will die, so just use it as a weapon, don't transform. And he transforms with it. Mizora and Sento, or Sawa, show up, because of course Usumi was the one who called them. He wanted Pandora's box so he could defeat the Gear Bros. He needed the bottles, whatever. And Mizora holds back to try and, stop Kazumi from making this mistake and killing himself. And once again, I will feel the need to say, what an amazing actress. She is really good. She had me tearing up here.
Yeah, Misora was fantastic this episode. I would say every actor was fantastic this episode. I just wish that Utsumi's character was... Oh shit, I'm just hung up on Utsumi's crap right now. But yeah, I wish that he would just develop before. Because this would have been a fantastic episode all around, even because the acting was really good. Especially with Misora. The way she acted like a human being and it was not melodramatic. That blows my mind.
Yeah, she's pretty much always shown through when showing concern for Sento, but this was even 10 times better. It was awesome. And the one thing I have to say about Sawa is I did like how she pretty much saved Gentoku when she took his bottle out of the driver before he died. So that was nice. She had something to do. And yeah, Kazumi's new form. I totally missed until they close-up shot on it, is that his left shoulder has the 3 crow emblems on it. That was really a really nice detail that they put on there.
This fight was glorious. It looked really... it looked good, it felt good. Well, actually, it felt terrible, but for a different reason. This was a really good send-off fight for him. So unfortunately, despite through Misora's pleading tears, he pushes himself over the limit, and his body begins to fade away. And Misora, to the end, continues to call him Grease rather than his real name. Because if she calls him by his real name, he'll disappear, he'll die right away. So she's not going to call him that. And just everything about this scene was, worth it.
This entire scene where Kazumi was just talking to Misora, and then it was this entire, during the fight scene, from the fight scene onwards, and when that yellow pollen thing started appearing, that particles when Kazumi was starting to disappear, I started tearing up, and then it was full blown cry after that. I never cried this much for any rider death ever. This was the most painful one to sit through.
I didn't even cry like this for Kiria.
Kiria was yeah. It was I would say the best comparison would be Chase.
Oh, I haven't seen Drive.
Okay, yeah, you missed out on that, but yeah, but man, this entire scene was so good, especially when when Kazumi transformed and Sento and Banjo saw him in his Blizzard form, and then they saw him Banjo saw him disappear, and then Banjo asked Sento, "What the hell have you done? Why did you give him that?" And that was it felt so good to watch that. The reactions in both Sento's and Banjo's faces, and then the entire shot was so well done. It was fantastic.
Banjo's realization on his own that Kazumi is going to die. No one had to point it out to him for once. And that was really well done.
Yeah, even the fight where he uses the Blizzard Knuckle, and then from in one side, and then from the other side he just uses his robot arm to punch the enemies. That was really good. I really like that section of the fight. It was Even like this fight scene and this entire thing was so well choreographed. I don't have any complaints like for the entire episode. And especially the aftermath. Aftermath was the one that killed it. No sound, no background music, just silence, and everybody's. You can't even hear them scream, and then it feels more rather than hearing them scream and cry. It hurt me more. That's how good the directing and the acting was in this episode.
Yeah, and Gentoku got pretty messed up too, because all his hands were freaking covered in blood. But yeah, I don't think I have any more to add. You guys pretty much summed it up. That scene was just phenomenal. And poor Kazumi.
Speaking of blood, when Sawa's patching Gentoku up and her hands are covered in blood, I was shocked to see that. Yeah, the episode ends with all of them regrouping at the top of the tower as Misora goes up and gives Sento the last lost bottle that Kazumi purified or whatever inside himself so that they can save the world. And they all take it pretty rough. Okay, so I love all of Misora and Sento's little heart-to-heart moments throughout the series, but this death scene outshines all of them.
I'm just gonna say this entire episode outshines literally any other episode of Build we have had so far.
Oh yeah, that too. Good. We always get good chances to see Sento and Misora's interaction with each other as they have their complications with what's going on, and Misora's good acting, and Sento really not knowing how to comfort her, make her feel okay. And then this just outclasses all of that. Kazumi not trying to make her feel okay as he accepts his own death. And he just wants her to accept it too.
But he still tries to act brave and put a smile on her face, and he's like, oh, now I have something to brag to the guys about. My idol cares about me. That was so painful to watch. And of course he has his back turned to her, so she can't see him crying. So good.
Yeah, and also I like that when he was talking to when he was trying to it's just that so far we have seen him I'm willing to die for my country, I'm willing to die for everything, and then now this episode we're you guys have he was just flashing back to all the characters in his family kind of thing, the pseudo family that they made with the people at the coffee shop. He started remembering everybody and the interaction he had, and then he regrets dying, and that was one of the best lines I've seen, and it was a really huge development for him as a character.
They really did become a family too, and this is now breaking the family. They're losing someone. I'm tearing up again just thinking about this. When the war is over, obviously things are going to be the same, but now they can't ever be the same because someone's dead, and they're going to notice his absence. They've gotten so used to having him around.
Yeah.
It was like the silly older brother, and now he won't be there anymore.
Shit, I'm tearing up as well. This episode, oh my god, when Bill, this was so fantastic. If the Build was around 46 episodes long, we wouldn't have had to deal with those 3 or 4 episodes. So good. I don't know how to feel about this episode. On one hand, I'm this is a fantastic episode, and on the other hand, I didn't want Grease to die after receiving his final form. And you know what pissed me off the most? At the end, all the silence, and then Evolt in Soichi's body, so Evolt in Soichi's face just comes there, and he's hello and hey, and Sento eyes look so fucking pissed, and he just screams Evolt. That was fantastic.
It was a great, I knew that was gonna happen too, but I still wasn't prepared for it to happen. It is such a good way to end this episode.
Yeah, I hate. Okay, one thing I will actually commend Build on about Evolt is they gave us a villain that we could hate for eternity.
Like, he just pops in like, hey guys, what's up? As they're all mourning the death of a friend, a family member. And he's just like casually like, we doing this or what? Man, I got places to be, you know.
I hated him when he freaking kicked Utsumi on the ground when he already freaking stabbed him in the back. Like, jeez, why? He's already dead. He just kicks him. I guess that's part of him gaining emotions. But yeah, he is quite a scummy villain.
Yeah, goddamn. This episode was like, it encapsulates like all of the good things about Build and one slightly bad thing about Build.
Oh. I
can't-
feel...
Okay, I was just gonna say I can't wait for the next episode.
I did not watch the next episode preview on King's Advice because apparently it contains a massive episode ruining spoiler in it or something.
Yeah, I also didn't watch it because I knew that now this is the last few episode, which I don't want to get spoiled.
True. Yeah. Man, the series is ending in 2 weeks. I guess I feel bad for not liking Utsumi more as a character. It's just that he doesn't have any redeeming qualities. Okay, he did sacrifice himself at the end of the fight to protect the last lost bottle. It's so that Gentoku and Sawa could get away. Well, he didn't protect it for them, he just protected the bottle. I guess he did that, so there's that.
Yeah, I slightly did care for him, like, by the end of this episode, but yeah. But you would be surprised to find out they are, like, massive Utsumi fans.
I kind of am. I feel like he's supposed to be, like, a better character than I see him as.
No, I think he's supposed to be just like a kind of scheming, self-preserving minor character, but I think in terms of minor characters for Rider, he's pretty up there in my book, especially with how he's been used throughout the plot.
I think that Zero maybe put it the best in that he's like Dan Kuroto, but worse.
I was just gonna say, what if Dan Kuroto was a minor character and was a bit more grounded in reality? That works?
Well, the grounded in reality part is where it's starting to teeter off for me.
Yeah, that's true. I'm talking about, like, okay, not grounded in reality, but just grounded. Because Kuroto is comparatively...
less of a meme.
Yeah.
How do you ground God?
Well, Kiria was successful, so...
Was he, though?
Yeah, by the end.
So, next 2 episodes are the last 2 episodes. We won't be able to do a podcast on the movie for a while until it gets, its Blu-ray release and then gets subbed. And then we start an entire new series. It's the end of an era.
A new series revolving around old series. We will see how that goes.
Yeah. One thing that I also wanted to add is, Build has become my favorite Rider series now at this point.
It's, it's in my top 10 somewhere, but it's still not my favorite.
You know, it's just that the characters and the story so far, at least except those 3 or 4 episodes, which was not that great, have been so good that I kind of don't mind. Like,
really like.
Okay, it just feels like it's just a show for me personally.
I do really like the main cast except for Sawa. She's done a lot for the show, but it's just always like spread out that I always question, like, why are you still here? And then she does one thing.
True that. But I think it's safe to say that the series is gonna finish strong.
Yeah, right now it's building up to have a really good ending. And a lot of Rider series don't nail the ending, so I'm really hoping that this one does.
Yeah, and one more, and it just okay. I was just gonna say that I feel sorry for Kohei Takeda. Both of his Rider characters were like killed off.
That's his thing now.
Yeah.
You know what Vashi really wants? He really wants Gio to meet Grease and then go back in time and meet Otoya and be like, wait, haven't I met you already?
Yeah, that would be pretty good. This one, and also the fact that both use knuckle weapons.
Yeah, he can't get away from Knuckles either.
Eh.
If there wasn't already a rider named Kamen Rider Knuckle, he would be in line for it.
God damn, Urobuchi, you hired the wrong actor. I mean, this was the 10th year of Kiva, so I guess that makes sense for him to come back.
Wow, that is weird. Huh. Well, I can't wait to see him again in like another 12 years for the new Kiva series.
Nice.
Could you imagine if they actually did that?
Yeah.
That would.
Could you imagine if they like secretly filmed that back after Kiva and like have just been sitting on it waiting?
It would have been
like
late.
that would blow my mind.
Late.
Oh, probably.
They would have had the copyright leaked at the very least.
I was just gonna say that, what do you call it? Maybe like Kohitageta just grows even younger and then acts as new Kiva. Because the man doesn't age.
He doesn't. In fact, he does look younger than he did as Otoya.
Yeah, and he was, I think, 17. Oh, no, wait, I think he was 20 back then.
He did play Wataru's son from the future at the very last episode of Kiva. They just threw a wig on him. Spoilers for the very end of Kiva, I guess. But it's out of context, so what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I think we are done.
Yeah, alright. Thanks for joining us tonight, everybody.
Good night. Bye-bye.
We'll be back next week for part 1 of the 2-part finale of Kamen Rider Build, and also Sentai. See you next time.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.